should be good. Welcome back in. To the Roottrees are dead, but the DLC of that, or I guess not DLC if it came with the game, huh? The expansion content, I don't know. We're looking up infidelities and adulterers within the family. In the first part, we were truly just a family tree specialist, and in this one, we're just like a shit stirrer. I'm here for it. Entry update. 1998. This has just got to be someone had a baby, which I think it was Stephanie Jones. I don't think she would have had the baby by then. She was like super pregnant. Wait, Landon, right? Landon. Dropping by for a few for end of the Megadeth movie. Fine by me, boss. Good to see ya. How you been? Okay, so it's Landon here. This is Jones. It's Jones, Brian Jones. Excuse me, politician. We have 3 locked in right now. I think we can lock in 4 with Stephanie Jones. Using updating campaign website, baby photo. Nodder was named after her grandmother, which ended up being very fitting. She was born the night before Christmas. The nightmare before Christmas? Knowledge substance, small accomplishments, rise in popularity, some extra attention on me. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Bang, bang, boom. Adorable say that. Stephanie's giving us some thumbs up for her. Yeah. Okay. Grandmother was Clara Lansing. Anyways, let's lock that in. Okay, it's not locked in, which is concerning. Oh, her last name wouldn't be Fellows, would it? So we need to find her maiden name. Okay, that's fine. Occupation of baby, my favorite. And then, I mean, it's Jones for sure. And then named after Clara? Clark. Carol. Yep. Okay. Makes sense. Booyah!
Has Clark reached out to you? Well, let me give you a short history lesson about the last few months of my life. 3 different people contacted me, claiming that somewhere in their history, they might be Roottrees. First, that young man, the rapper. I ignored that one. He seemed dubious. But then I saw the news. I felt terrible. So I began helping the others. Because my doubts with Felix were so misfounded, I ended up putting too much faith in the second person that approached me. I went to the media prematurely. I admit my mistake there. But the third person who contacted me also had a credible case. Before I could help, the company got to them somehow. The fact that the family silenced them doesn't seem to fill me with hope when it comes to Clark's intentions. But you're making progress based on the leads he gave you. It's really hard for me to get a read on him. I'll let you handle it. I've sent you the case I've been working on, and some company records I managed to track down. The records are quite dense, but hopefully they're useful. Good luck.
Alright. That one's taken care of. There's something else, Joanna. We'll have to deal with that later. This is definitely Elias Roottree, your secretary. Yeah, okay. What on earth could you be connected to still? Terrifying. Phone was given to you by Sam Madsen. A woman named Regina Clementine came to her and claimed her husband had confessed that he thinks he's a Roottree. Okay. Stewart is the older boy wearing a vest. Woman in the photo is Mary Beth Clementine. Singer who may have had an affair with Miracle Roottree. Alright, I want this to be true because it would be very funny. Very funny. So, a woman named Regina Clementine. Her husband has confessed he thinks he's a Roottree. Singer may have had an affair. Company records. Clementine. Originally Salazar. Houseperson Stewart Clementine. Okay. So that means... Oh my, you had 2 kids? Yeah, no, that makes sense. So this is Miracle. Or at least they're gonna look into it. Reacher. Love to see that. This is Mary Beth. Clementine. Looks like she's a singer / musician. Spouse's name that she did. We have no idea who that is, unless that's Miracle. It seems unlikely. I would just say that's the spouse that we don't know. I know we have more stuff to look at, but anyways, I'm just gonna put that there. Stewart's the older boy. But they definitely kept the same for Clementine, right? Gina Clementine, named Salazar. Salazar, they're married. We don't know who this is. But we know their last name is probably Clementine. To start with. Okay. Did I miss the smaller kid's name? No. Cool. Alright. New Orleans. Husband Stuart Clementine wrote me about a month ago. Roottrees lawyers went after her since then. By the time I received her letter, she told me she couldn't cooperate anymore. Her husband, who is a police officer and never knew his father. Okay, that helps. He's a policeman officer. That should be 3. 3. Thought he might be Roottree. He's estranged from his family, didn't want to pursue it because he had no proof. Wrote to me behind his back. Alright, Stuart's mother was named Mary Beth. Singer to a lot of churches. Pretty big proponent of adoption. Came to Butler County a few times. Spent a lot of time in the Miracle Church. Well known in Butler County. Singer, popular between here, perform at churches. When you find as a cover, released under the label New Edison. 1 second. Small record label existed over a few years in the 40s. Its biggest claim to fame was being sued by the estate of Thomas Edison. Change your name. Another site claims police had to be called to New Edison after the owner got in a physical altercation in public, leading to a divorce. I wonder if that's him. Interesting. Sterling Edison might be the spouse if it led to a divorce. Just based on the vibe. We're going off vibes here. Though that doesn't... Does that make sense? I don't know. Probably. The old rugged cross. Popular hymn. Okay. Okay. Known for adoptions. She adopted 2 children in the late 1940s. Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they're definitely adopted. Would be funny if they are. Advocate for benefits of adoption in front of U.S. State Congress. First option. Stewart. Adopted later, according to a single line on one adoption site, under unusual circumstances. Both times to the manager, Sterling. Yep. Wow, we could have just done that. Sterling Edison. Yep. Martin Clement. Oh, that actually works. Crocodile Clementine is listed on a website titled The Infamy List. It's a massive list of criminals who are known for odd crimes. Mark nickname would imply hails from Florida or Australia. He's listed as being from LA. Very small note about him being the basket baby in 1950. Everything else comes from his adulthood. He lost his job in 1975 as a pilot for a regional airline after he tried to board the wrong airline's plane. He was charged with trespassing and assault. In 1982, he was arrested for transporting smuggled animals over the Canadian and Mexican borders for a legal reptile supplier. He was successful, but then got caught when he had to make an emergency landing in Portland. It all kind of is coming back down to Portland. A man named Billy Sims. Okay. I didn't expect this. Criminal. Is felon part of this? He wouldn't be the print. Oh, there it is. That was his most recent one, but well, it probably actually wasn't his most recent one. Anyways. Okay, 1 second. Portland Telegraph. My guess is that is going to be a thing. There we go. He was only caught because he was bit by a crocodile on the leg and had to call in a mayday because he was losing blood. Tried to tell them it was a crop duster, someone cut his leg, but it seemed very odd. Controllers quickly alerted the police. Yeah. Alright. Portland Telegraph's going to be probably interesting. Bill Sims. There we go. Principal of Sandstone Canyon High School and his 15 minutes fame. He was punched by Crocodile Clementine. Pretty much every news organization seemed to have had their own take on the altercation. It wasn't the punch that captured it, but a matter-of-fact response to the threat and his comments afterwards. A wrestling move mixed with a backward somersault. This could be a red herring, I guess, but I don't know. Sandstone Canyon High School? I don't know. It's in San Diego. Not much about it. Basket Baby of 1950. Which does line up. Left the baby on her doorstep in a basket. Same, stopped him without question. Raised him as their own son. From context, you know it's Mary Beth. Wow, they put this in the site, huh? Do they actually want it to be Crocodile Clementine? Is that why it's not giving me it? No. But I'm pretty sure all of this is correct. Which means something else is weird. That mostly, I think, existed to get us to Get the Portland Telegraph. Alright, let's look at these company records. Based on all tax mailing info, only detailed employees that work directly for the Roottree or the corporate office. It'll mostly be helpful for cross-referencing guys' secretaries and visits overseas. Don't spider search names. Got it. Sam Madsen, John Miller, yeah. I'm taking over at the start of 1978. Christine Farrow was hired. Joanna Robertson is in Noanda. Joanna Robertson. Or wait, do I need to get 8? No. I'm wrong on some of these. Though I don't really know where. Fellows and Beth Knox. Christine Garland has been hired now. Before that, Christine Farrow. Okay. All are employed. Garland, Beatrice Watts, and Corey Schwartz were hired. God, just absolutely ripping through them, huh? Susan Ford was hired under a special category that existed for 1 year. Tree Bash. Australia, China, France, and Brazil. Terry O'Connor was hired. Hey Gabe, how you doing? How's the weather out for you? Just blustery right now, but it's gonna get absolutely frigid tomorrow, I know that much. It was nasty this morning too, just like my car just is like every turn I'm turning a little wide. I'm just like, how about you? So many secretaries. Strawberry was what? Zigwa. It's Zigwa. Zigwa. Oh, it literally means watermelon in Chinese. Got it. Alright. Good to know. Not too bad, but you're only going to go to the gym each day in this weather. Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly a... the hell is that? That's suspicious. Roottree, Susan Ford, no longer employed. No change, no change. Work time temp. That's got to be something. Cancelled, 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 cancelled. Work time temp. Start there, I guess. Company in many offices, blah, blah, blah. No connection. Okay, well, that's fine. We still have 2 new searches to do, which is Roottree Mania and Inani Mob. So. Alright. Culture, focus on the Roottree family for a few weeks. Everything felt oversaturated. Wow. It's 3 weeks. It's really took the world by storm. Fill in your own name to find a fewer secret root tree. When you submitted your name, it simply said no. 6 pieces are in a chart. For new printings of other Roottree media, Lord's Diaries, VHS releases of Gwen's old movies. Some of their unauthorized biographies mostly seem to capitalize on the Roottree sisters and Carl and Brenda. Most of them were failures. Countless novelty search and variations of My Secret Roottree became immediately unfashionable. Okay, so let's look at Lauren's Diaries, which were named something. We'll just look up Lauren Roottree for now. Alzheimer's. Okay. A Life Between Wars. I found the Haunted Mansion in Ghost of Yotai, by the way. Pretty cool stuff. Alright, there's a single passage revisiting it. It's sick. Yeah, the storyteller missions are so far, by far, the most interesting stuff. But that one's like, they went above and beyond. The set, the setting and the fog. It's great. I love non-horror games dipping their toes in a little bit. It's always fun. So guys like us, and about 3 weeks ago, now she died peacefully. Just look up guys like us again, just in case. In which 2 secretaries cut their hair short, pose a businessman, get ahead in life. Yep. Time to manufacture, Messiah's Craze, talks for a remake, blah blah blah. Okay. Go back to Roottree Mania. I'll look up the Roottree sisters now. Memorial. Relevant information. Roottree sisters fashion. Did I look that up? I feel like I did. My surprise, hands down, one of the best of those missions. I mean, you gotta love those. No, I didn't need to copy that. Stop. Stop it! Command, related, scholarship. Oh, no, it just goes back to that. Okay. Alright, Life Between Wars. Oh, I don't need to click on this. That's great. That's good news. I didn't even realize, like, half the plane was in the other half. I thought that was a whole new area, and they're like, you just missed half the plane. And I was like, oh, this is why it took so long. Focuses on the relationship between her mother and father, while offering only redundant information. Mentions subject of affairs may be more useful. So many girls went to school, taken multiple lovers. So many of my girlfriend's husbands have been unfaithful. If I've remained true to a ghost of a man with no chance of physical reciprocation, it'd be so hard to love someone you can reach out and touch, joke with. Not had to deal with such madness at home. My parents are a perfect match in the worst way. My mother's cruelty is a perfect fit for my father's general spite. Who are you? Ah. Yeah, that makes sense. House status enables her incessant need to gloat and feel superior, and grown up with her cruelty and disdain my entire life. Making fun of Grandpop and his family, saying blood's thicker than syrup, but nothing's thicker than Elias. They mimic Grandma Gwyneth's lisp. See your kindness as a weekend. Remember Sam? Sam. Yeah. Family's melody is really on. Miracle. Never had eyes. Can say without a doubt that my parents have never had eyes for anyone outside their marriage. Are too self-centered to look astray. This wasn't actually helpful. I mean, it says it's helpful. I don't believe them. Well, let's look up Anonymon. Potential new Roottree ring out of the clan's trust. Claims she slept with Guy Hudson. Her daughter was a Roottrie. Accusation came during the height of the mania. Appeared in the shadows with this guy's voice. Promoted an article about herself in News Time, which I think I have. Yeah. 1 second. Okay. And then Jane Doe Roottree. That'll just pop up the same here. Okay, yeah. Comes up with the same thing. That's great. For your daughters, that. No one knows how else to refer. Sam Manson publicly supported Anonymom due to some parts she found particularly credible. The momentum from Sam's endorsement, Anonymom went on a media blitz, but this backfired because people became skeptical of the story due to the extreme similarity to literally the last story we just heard. Her accusation even included many of the same details as his mother's story, including her job and time period. Honestly, that's fine. Then a wink DNA test proved could not be related to the Roottrees. Immediately after the negative results were released, many of those who have been felt skeptical felt vindicated. Others who built up hope felt duped. Though scientifically proven that Jane Doe Roottree is not a Roottree, doesn't mean that her mother and Guy Hudson were not involved in an affair. She had every right to make her claim. It was verified that her stories about Guy Hudson were not exaggerations. Okay. Of course, naturally. Already been eliminated as a potential new Roottree. Anonymom's affair does not appear. Okay. That's fine. I can't even click on their faces. Alright. Determined by a DNA test they weren't related. Article came before that. I don't even think this is giving me anything here, is it? Apparently Guy Hudson, she and another one were hired at the same time during a transition period. She and the other one were both underqualified, but they had own requirements for hiring women. After one of these after parties, pregnancy phase, paid her significant amount of hush money, moved away, started a new life with her daughter. seeing the fantastic article in News Time. Just realized he wasn't the only one this happened to. Intangible evidence, using details also knows. Okay. Hired at the same time, though. That does fit something. One of the women here. During a transitionary period. Replaced. Alright. It's one of these four, unfortunately. That's not very helpful, is it? I mean, we should have more than this, right? We have more. We have 4 or 5 locked in. I mean, she might not be a secretary anymore. But that's kind of where I want to sit on. Clementine used to be a pilot, but I don't know about now. Stephen Garland. What were we? With 2 kids, huh? That was something. The Antonellis, right? Connect my chance. Save up money to move to Boston, open their own restaurant. Do we have anything from Boston? Rochelle Zimmer, maybe? Mark Zimmer was sued by Steve Garland. Now we're talking. Gourmet for the groovy, giving lessons from his home kitchen so he can keep an eye on his son. Local author sued by former Butler County resident. Mark Zimmer was sued by Garland after Garland saw Zimmer promoting his book Kitchen Tales. The recipe book was partially plagiarized. Alright. Mark Zimmer Kitchen Tales. Out of print. Re-released as Garnishing the Truth. A recipe book that contains stories. So now it's Steve Garland, I assume. There we go. Series of acknowledgements from Steve, James and Robert. James and Robert Garland. Okay. Don't know which. Oh, 1 second. Oh no, that's right. bet if we find a picture, we'll be able to figure this out. First met him in a cooking class. We settled at McCarran's brew house over a game of darts. When I decided to retire, I moved to Boston just so we could hang out. For browsing this book, please buy our book. We need more money from the free beer one runs out. McCarran's brew house. I've already forgotten how to spell that. That took all of 3 seconds. Famous people. Those things, book, Garshing the Truth. Stevie G. His kid's joint is Fried Eye. Okay, we're getting there. We're tracking it down. Really popular restaurant in Boston. Don't have a website. More in-depth review. It's not a full restaurant. Okay. Website called My Boston Homepage. Runs page seems to just link to random websites about Boston. Wicked overrated. I saw it in Chef's Signature. Okay. Now we go to this. Fried Eye. Right on time you're doing your initial investigation. Wanted this, the samosa cone. Okay. You better have all the pictures on there. These are the 2 kiddos, huh? James and Robert Garland. Which one's which? Robert, is 3 years younger than James. Do we have that right? We do. The Sistine Apple. Okay, that's good. It's Christine Sistine, yeah. I mean, I guess we just look at it and figure out which one it is. Okay, it's not that. Oh no, it could be. I just didn't put their occupations. They're both cooks. Sorry, chefs. Okay, this will let us narrow down some more stuff. Okay, there's something with Mary Beth then. You're also a chef, though. That guarantees that's correct. Christine Farrow. I mean, that might be you. I don't know. This is you. That is your name. I don't know what you were exactly at the end of the day, though. I'll have to figure it out. They moved to Portland, so that could help. I don't know where we're going to find this either, but... that is your name. You're Mary Beth Clementine. Unless... there's something else that we could work with. I don't know. Also, it's not Sterling Edison. which is interesting, since I'm pretty sure what it's called. Alright. Anyways, yeah, I don't know what to do about this. We don't have any pictures. There's still 2 there, but it's just you. I know that. Girl farm. That's all they meant. Don't have any memories of the farm. Stories. Dad's a great storyteller. Never got off the ground. Work even though Robert was born. Shopping, blah blah blah. Okay. So secretary still counts. We just need to actually find a photo of her, which is annoying. It could be this. I doubt it. Mostly because the one that was being care of was Chris there. Telegraph, so we're gonna just look up like a bunch of stuff here. Give it a 3 out of 5. Okay. Single mother worked at a video rental store. Okay. That was what we were lacking there. I assume just a cashier. Yeah. I feel like we need to dig more into here. Because you're telling me that's correct. But the spouse wasn't Edison Sterling. Sterling Edison. And this, couldn't even tell you. There's Elizabeth, secretary there. John Doe. Yeah, there's a lot there. What are we looking at here? Yeah, okay. Well, that's not helpful. Mailings. Trip overseas. We got Brazil. Different Elizabeth than the supervisor on the farm. Okay. Why ask Carl and Raina around the cover of magazines? Yeah. Actually, wait, why is that important? Just, they're telling me to look that back up? Irrelevant. Irrelevant. And you were in Team Blast. Okay, that was useless. Roottrees have physical media associated with them. Yeah, that's fair. Three generators. Let's try Jim. Still doing fine. Best of album. Evening G. Or just the evening. I prefer the former though. How you doing, Pirate? Many were featured in periodicals. Yeah, I mean, we've got Ford, large holiday parties. Okay. And we got like Ernie, Hudson. Jimmy. Oh. There was another one though, wasn't there? Daryl. Telegram. Okay. Family man. How goes the job as the Infidelity Inspector? Pretty good. We're inspecting those infidelities. Relevant. What was the other thing? I want to look up Family Man again. It was recently republished. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. It might come back. Let's go! It's blatant corporate propaganda. Let's go! We love that for us. The dictionary defines propaganda as information of a biased and misleading nature. If they were to replace that definition with a picture, it would be a picture of this book. You don't think it tells you anything true about Elias and from about his feelings on his extended family, new or true? That's fine. I just needed that to connect here. Nice. So this is correct. Of the ones that are also definitely correct, it's here and here. I don't think this is the right picture. So instead, we're looking at trying to fix this one. If we get to 12, we should hopefully get some new stuff. I feel like there's got to be an auction site that we buy stuff here. Anyways, let's delve back into... Mary Beth Clementine. Nine Sterling. So what's wrong with this? I can look up Edison records versus Edsel, I suppose. That might help. Not actually being named Edison. The name of the lawsuit was actually the biggest problem for the person being sued. Edsel was a German last name at the time of the founding of the company. Yes, or in Germany. Ah, okay. So you're Edsel, actually. Then why are you the Clementines instead? And why does this not work? You are a musician. I don't understand. Unless you think that, like, being an advocate changes that? No, it's gotta be your name. Author. Baby. Station, news anchor, preacher, principal. Public speaker's the only other thing I can think of, but that doesn't make sense either. It's gotta be the name that's the hang-up. So I need the picture. First edition was originally published before she legally changed her name. Ah, now wait a second. Let's go to Modern Music Monthly, and let's hit up the old rugged cross, shall we? Mary Beth Quaker. Quaker. There we go. Looking pretty swell nowadays. Cool. Great. All right, Clark, what do you want?
Reached out to me finally. I think I have you to thank for that one. My family's in a bit of a rough patch. Even though the candy is selling better than ever, everyone is fighting over the trust. The majority of us want to dissolve it. On paper, it seems like the right decision. The arguments about what to do next are endless and heated.
Hey, Nagamine, how you
More
doing?
than a few Roottrees are worried about losing their wealth. I don't think we deserve it more than anyone else. I love my family, my wife, my daughters, even my son, who I hardly ever get to see. I want to keep them safe and secure. I didn't do anything to deserve this fortune. Hell, I probably deserve it less than most. It took me way too long to get my life together. Okay, enough about me.
Thanks.
Here's the deal. I can't stop
Taking a
the
mental
majority from
vacation.
voting one way or
That's
another.
a fun way of putting it. Most likely very deserved and needed.
If you keep passing along potential Roottrees, I'll keep adding them to the list. On the other hand, there's been some leaps forward in genetics. It may sound like science fiction, but we can actually determine who's in the family just by testing their DNA. What you've done so far has been very useful. Just keep filling out the tree and we'll prepare for the tests.
You didn't give me anything. You didn't give me nothing, dude. Are you kidding me? Brutal. I mean, this has got to help. That's like 3 of them right there. And this is not the right picture, just so we know. That's already taken care of. We don't know any of these 3. That's got to be exploring like his overseas travels for sure. How can I not track this sucker down though? That's what I want to know. Alright. Back we go. Hails from Florida. Okay. Basket Baby, which we looked up. Lost his job as a pilot. Part of the Telegraph. Mugshot was added. Released on parole. Arrested in 94. Attempt to visit his daughter's graduation, which we looked into. Direct threat. I don't know why, unless Sandstone can't. Did I look up Sandstone can't? I did. Though it's mentioned in a lot of articles about the Billy Sims incident. I knew that a little bit, especially on like Wednesdays and Fridays, just to kind of get through the week. So I understand it. Sandstone's in what? San Diego? I do wonder if, like... Colleen Webb, Mark's ex-wife. Okay. That's something. Colleen, she and he met when he was working for an airline. He was a drinker, wild mood swings, blah, blah, blah. They divorced, pregnant with their second daughter. So they have 2 daughters. Changing their names legally, they use the web name, so don't connect them to theirs. They never change their names legally. This will probably just relate back, right? Yeah. close it. It's frustrating. How would I get there then? Met when he worked for an airline. She worked in an airport newsstand. Web name, no one connects it. Yeah, that's not super helpful though. You know what I mean? Not particularly great. Credit giving nickname, mugshot has been added to your photos. Yeah. I don't know how to tackle that one. Unless we just look up web. No. That's a bummer. When the Ravens' new head coach? Oh. Did some hires happen while I wasn't looking? The Browns like are Minter? I mean Minter is really good. I feel the same way about him that I felt about Mike McDonald, considering they both coach defense for my team. The man slaps. He is allowed to slap. He's great. I consider him just as good of a coordinator as Mike McDonald, so I expect their defense to be disgusting. Offense, I don't know. Depends on coordinators, right? Like, when the coordinators leave Seattle, we'll see what happens there. It's the same thing that happens, you know, everywhere. But I think he's going to be great. It's a great hire, in my humble opinion. Alright, maybe we tackle the affairs of Guy Hudson for now. Browns keep on getting told no. I just keep seeing an article that are like, nah, no thanks, and like a bunch of other things. Alright, and Susan Ford, interpreter. Fuck. Grandorf Dove. That's something. For sure. Grandorf School of the Deaf. Located about an hour from the Roottree offices. Founders issued as government translators. In 90, it was renamed to better represent the school's purpose. Scanned through all the biographies. The principal, Miss Ford, is fluent in 5 languages, including ASL. Worked in the school for over 15 years. Really learned sign language, communicating with the deaf. The Hudson Wing. Expansion to President generously donated $250 towards construction. Make history section. Assistance of an employee of Roottree at the time. Where's your future husband who was deaf? Useful it would be. Round up people. Roottree to invest in school. No longer employed. Died in 82. Is there a person who gets divorced? I don't know. Could be either. Bring yourself in the main school. Or lots of wisdom. Has her future husband was dead. Okay. Butler County. Endless snow cancellations, activities, 90. Center of a crime article from 1982. Someone defaced school and vehicles outside of the new Hudson Wing. Well, he just cards paying on profanities, accusation of infidelity. Thomas Hughes, coincidentally former student at the school, came weeks after he married the school's newest teacher, Miss Hughes. Which is actually Miss Ford. Not current pregnancy. Damages and couple begin divorce proceedings. Okay. The problem is I don't know if there's one or two here. And I won't for a while. Thomas Hughes, though, is definitely it. We'll start here. If it's not that, it's elsewhere. Susan Ford. Is her original name? She is a principal currently. If that's correct. Alright. Center of a crime article from 82. It feels like it should really be this. Unless I can find a picture of Thomas Hughes. It doesn't matter yet. No. Nothing. And we already tried Ford, right? Oh, Thomas Hughes. Then where the absolute hell? Do I look up Hudson Wing? Probably not. Probably just give us back the languages. Translators. If we just look up Grandor, nothing there. Frustrating. One company's created, manufacture, distribute Roottree candy. Like some of the other Roottree everywhere results. Oh wait, there was a Roottree everywhere? I must have missed that in the files. Distributing globally to certain markets, approved by Elias. Blah, blah, blah. Aus, Brazil, China, and France. Okay. We'll just look at all three. Charles Martin. Use on wealth to build a factory, distribute the maple treats. Commerce mentioned a very unusual business agreement. Profits will be split 50-50. Made him wealthy. Robin Martin. Owns a private island, no husband. Somewhere in the mid-70s, she had a medical procedure since she had her children. Attracted many to wearing a shirt that simply said "satisfied partner" on it. Good for her. Don't think that actually helps though. Roottree France. Non-starter. Supposed to be Tristan Robert though. First name only. Worst man I've ever met. Crimped my wife about having an affair. Obsessing is best. This was the best way to celebrate. And our business contract. Don't think he expected her to say no. Don't think he thought she would tell me what happened. Punched him in the face. Okay. Yeah. Nothing new there. China. Roottree. Didn't wish to import. Import bulk. Label it for China. Okay, I'm gonna like look up all these people. Rudimentary leadership timeline goes back 250 years. Kind of looks like a family tree. Oh, this man is sexually attracted to family trees. During the period where they came, Roottree deal. Time for that. You only mention Tranquilts and Peace of Asia. Located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I can't tell if I'm going down like a big rabbit hole here or if something's gonna pop up. No. Nothing's popping up there. Tranquils. I don't see anything. Only region in which caviar pieces were a hit. Small town named Elvalgos. Newly elected politician named Edson Soares. Actor is controversial. Oh. Milton Run by a small company called Candy Company. Okay, we'll look at this in a second. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, get a drink. The huge. Alrighty. Elvalgos. Real place in Brazil. Well, manufacturing did not want to offend any Brazilians. Okay. Edson Soares. Great name. If you're an actor, maybe. Or a pilot. Raised democracy until 88 was when military and politics were often a hotbed for corruption and nepotism. Manager of a major American car company. Charged by the military government. Was relocated. Wasn't popular mayor. Hello.
Hello.
Getting cold out there.
I'm done. For the week.
week.
No, I'm retired.
His wife Sonia was put in charge of television station called Telerede. Telerede? No, not helpful. Incendio de Bordo. Maple Fire. There's Profits. New Brazil Candy Corporation. Okay. So that's interesting, but it doesn't actually help us. Alright, there's Manson, Special Management. I'm gonna look up, and it's useless, I know, but the 50th anniversary ones seem somewhat important. Is Raffertunes needed at all? Like, will that have anything new? Not really. Cancelled, 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 cancelled. I mean, I get this, but like, what? Rootrees lawyers, maybe for sales or newfound. Like, it's not great. This one's on a secretary named Elizabeth. I don't even know what this could even have. Like, samosa cone? Nothing. Why would this have anything? I mean, theoretically, Oh, because we still don't have a photo of you. That's why. That's where that comes in. Cruelty. Too self-centered. And this feels frustrating because it feels like we're very close to getting, you know, 3 of them knocked out, which wouldn't actually help us right now, but woof. Notable. This woman. Feels like distant memory. That's fine. Yeah, and everything else, just like, nah. We tracked this down. Bribed a politician to open it in Brazil. That's true, but I don't know if we're tracking anything there or not. And like we're close here ish, but the whole family's a shit show. It's true. You're not wrong by any stretch. Maybe it's time to do our little history search again. Add it to my notes. There's the Antonellis, which we already covered. Unless we can find another picture. Oh, there was bookmarks, right? And there was also like the advertising firm that I'm forgetting now. It's like Jones whatever, but okay. Not helpful. The rift happened. Nothing new there. Client's trust got updated. Ruby Legal Enterprises. Clancy Edward Roottree. Edward Clancy Roottree. No, still nothing. Yeah, okay. Ruby Sprat. Blah, 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 blah. One up against you. Website for a magazine owned by a... What's from the website? For a magazine. Subject of one article about a recurring... See, like, we need this. Whatever that magazine is. Hires a lawyer. Mid-Eastern. Consultants. Local gas station chain. You know what? That we do have Portland now, right? Foster care system. Ruby Sprat grew up in the foster care system. Apparently, Victoria School, Girl Scout, earning the Gold Award. Foster Fountain. What local businesses? Foster Fountain. Okay. Can't fucking spell. Okay, let's try a Foster Fountain here. Small park in Portland. She's got something, I'm sure of it. But I don't really know where, because we've been where between Maine and Miami. Specters. Daryl. Then I think I looked up Ruby Sprat there. Unconverted, blah, blah, blah. Nothing there. Don't know if Little Ivy will give it. He'll probably give me the exact same thing. No, won't even give me that. There's this. There's all Cicely Sanchez. Instant collector's item, which does not help me at all. Out of print. Let me look at that. Version found in the archives incomplete. Like, that does not help. Chris Rafferty. Maybe? I don't know. Like, if we don't find anything, then we'll just continue on, right? And we already looked up Root, which is just Brenda White's second in command. Spell. Sluxy would be the true boss of this game for you. That's fair. I don't even need that. Let's look up just like fucking Carl Roottree again. Article about a Kristen Valdez about high school sweetheart before Brenda. I mean, I'll look at it, I guess. Oh. We already know who had the affairs, if they had affairs. I think I looked at, like, root of all evil here, right? Yeah, but we got nothing there. Hudson, denied it vehemently. Okay. Mixtapes on auction sites. Like discourse. And someone that would be revealed to be his own distant cousin. First mixtape. Came out 92 at the earliest. Oh, not much there. I'm losing it. I'm losing it, man. Elias and Gwyneth. Countless op-eds. I don't know if they'll... Can't spell, can't spell. Slink corporate. Present status, small ads for root. It's fine. And we already kind of know Mary Beth. We went through this, then we went through the crocodile thing. Unauthorized biographies, yeah. Anonymous, right. Bookmarks. Carolyn, Kitchen Tales, recipe, blah 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 blah. We went through all this. We did a bunch of the Telegraph stuff here. That was all updated. got that somehow. Did Edison stuff. And then we went through a entire, like, weird area that I don't remember. Show signature, yeah. Defunct magazine, right. News time. I wonder if they have anything about the Roottree curse. No. But I bet this has been updated for it. Still exists, thriving. Visit counter has reached 7 digits. All those theories, disclaiming this many high profile people have died in a family. At least one of them has faked their death. Guy's not dead. Can't possibly be a Roottree. Sam Madsen is an anagram for Am Madness. Operation RT9 again. Yeah, that one. Spirit Cola, maybe. Okay. Nothing new there. The guy's not dead theory. Oh, wait. Never mind. We got something. The conspiracy site is back on. Includes Roottree have hit all over the place. Guy Hudson was a terrible president. Someone needed to be done. So they killed Guy Hudson and replaced him with a new president. I think he was just Guy Hudson in an elaborate disguise. Oh my god, we got the frickin' photos, didn't we? Okay. Okay. That stupid conspiracy website is gonna get us again. There's your photo. Do I have any other photos that are added here? No, that looks like the last one. Good. Alright, alright. We got stuff to look at. We're cooking with gas. Alright. Paid a significant amount of energy to write about Guy Hudson. Met him on New Year's Eve, the last night of 78. His wife learned who I was. She invited me to the party. They cornered me to talk about a book. Anything with the slightest image. What was stuff that made him interesting? Wanted to be seen as great, second coming of the Great Elias Roottree. Misfortune, good luck. Like to exploit that to pick up women. Couldn't let anyone else know, so it cost him a lot to cover up. It was the only interesting part. It was James Bond trying to convince people it was Mr. Rounders, I guess. So, my first draft, he sent me the garbage book, The Roottree Legacy. You can switch out his orange suits for the green ones Elias wore. Fancy flavors. I was hopping around the world trying. I'm still telling. Something happened in Brazil for sure. Out my contract. pull my name off the book. I still got the content. Okay. Oh, he never released it himself. Money at me was his attempt to win me back. Have page count. Narrative was torn to bits. Dinner was good. Cost a bunch of the month of my mortgage. He sent his mistress Susan into the bathroom to proposition me. Return from my trips overseas. She was too good for him. Anyways, he died soon after, and that was the last that ever came up. Susan Bond. Insight into the Scandals. Recent book by Sam Madsen. I read it. All that she had to work with. Sometimes he knew, sometimes he didn't. That's not when I figured out who they were, how they were involved. Doubly so if the meeting happened when he didn't want me to be around. Oh, the daughter of his business partner in Australia, Robin. Definitely spent a few nights together he didn't want his family to know about. But I did. Okay. It's possible. Parents treat them like most people logically think to treat them. On paper and public, it was a marriage like any other. In reality, it was more of a mutually beneficial arrangement. They both got what they wanted out of it. Just the marriage. Okay. Fair enough. But there are rumors that she never had anything. Well, if she didn't have any kids, then that's fine. I mean, to be honest, this doesn't sound like Infidelities there. That's just who it is. Background of the photo, there is a Christmas tree. This was Brazil. 100% this was Brazil. Brazil in 79, they said, I think. Christmas 79, he went to Brazil to open the Roottree Brazil factory. So that, maybe that wasn't such a terrible thing. So maybe this was Roottree Brazil, this was before, and then this was after? This could have been Australia, this could be Brazil. That's why they're divorced, and then this was Susan Ford. And then this. Couldn't even tell you. Just that we know this was during the handoff, probably. If that's the handoff for the company, then that would be right here. Took over, replaced Zachariah Mordson. Garland is no longer working for Roottree. Yeah, I think this is the actual photo for her, Christine Farrow. I think you... That's the husband. And I think that's you. So I need to... Oops. because that was after. It's either that or this, but I don't know, man. This one doesn't have a spouse. That makes more sense to be the Australian one, if that's a possibility. That was 79. Morton. Susan Ford in 80 gets moved to office staff. Okay, let's look more at Roottree Brazil then. Because I'm starting to think this was Edson Soares. Okay, so I think this is Sonia Soares. Though I'm sure it's not actually Soares, it's something else. We'll figure it out. And this is Edson Soares. And I'm starting to think that circulated rumor, sure she would never have children. That's what causes me to pause. I wonder if no kids, as far as I can tell. Charles Martin. I mean, maybe she did have a kid. Let's do Edson Soares. Nope. How about Sonia Soares? Nope. Tristan Robert. Nope. Wang Hongbo. 79 doesn't involve business. New in vitro fertilization. Companies all over the world, the cost they could charge. The business watch. CEO is Lang Hongbo, and his younger daughter and her husband could not have children, so attempt to carry civil heir. Paid whatever that is. Their child implant. Kigenes? 1 second. Key genes. Some of their customers paid for a different service of an alibi. Already pregnant to create a cover story. Or give up the child, or the shame of an unmarried mother. That's interesting. That's very interesting. If that's the case, I think this might be her. Listed as Zinyu. A CEO right now. And that, older daughter was unmarried. Their child implanted in his older daughter who was unmarried. I wonder if we look at did we already look at this? The American Arm of Langtime, located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Town. Maybe I just look up Langtime. Oh, I'm not looking at the right thing. Jerry Han traveled from China to open the company, which is connected to a much larger company. It's not a factory, it imports and exports. Jerry's the son-in-law of the current leader. Okay. Jerry's wife Linda doesn't speak English at all, currently taking classes. Teaching her at home. Cover the unmarried daughter's baby. Yeah. Not the first time they visited Butler. Our strip wasn't covered by the newspaper. That's nothing. Linda, husband and wife Jerry and Linda. Playing Xinyao. Yeah, that makes sense. That fits, right? Yeah, I need to know about their older daughter. doesn't. But that's the only mention of him. Okay, I think that's what it is, though. I'm fairly certain. Tolerate, I don't have much about to go about that. Saw this game on my Steam. Came to see what it's all about. It's kind of like, my goodness, my brain is going back. Return of the Obra Dinn, in that you have to like profile a large family tree, and so you have to like make inferences about people. Except instead of like exploring a haunted ship, it's like the internet, circa 1998. To smooth jazz. It's pretty good. I've enjoyed it, even if I am overall pretty bad at it. This has taken us a while. You just, you know, you've got evidence, you've got a bunch of stuff that you look into. It's pretty convenient. Never really gets clunky. It's pretty good. Now, if only... Hey, Spookster. It's my cat. If only I could figure out the name of the older daughter. You, maybe? No, this did not help at all. I guess maybe if we get the names correct, like Jerry Hahn, that might help. Jerry, Linda, and Mark Hahn. There we go. Like, really look through the internet? Yeah, I mean, it's more summarized for it than anything else, but that's that. Sister stayed in China, doesn't even like visiting. Kids are the opposite, though. Mark couldn't wait to travel abroad as soon as he's old enough. He's actually in business school now. Hans donate significantly. Lost Morissette song. Terrified of that. Big sister was desperately in love with the idea. Back here, now we couldn't possibly imagine going back. And Mark, I never considered giving him a traditional name. Business school, our niece, who grew up there, is the opposite. Couldn't wait to get here. Lucy Lang in high school, flew out there since she graduated. Lucy Lang. Interesting. Yeah, I'd highly recommend it. It's been a lot of fun. And there's like a hint system if you need it from this duck. You know? Never really need to get stuck. There's lots of notes. It's all good. I think that's Susan Ford. Makes sense she doesn't want to go to the USA. I agree. So I think that's Susan Ford as well. I think both of these are Susan Ford. And that fits there. Because they obviously had kids. That doesn't make sense if it's, I assume Lang. Wonder if Xinyu Lang will show up. Or Lucy Lang? not exactly common name, but not uncommon. Works in New York. Small compelling group. Team 10. No, it's gotta be. Works in New York for corporate. Oh god. Let's just copy this. Control C, Control V. Slang lead synergy engineer. Facilitators. Productivity. A few high profile companies. None of them are related to the current investigation. What if I looked up Lucy Lang here? From a small Arkansas town, second person. This does not sound correct. They wouldn't go this far to do a red herring, would they? Would they? Robotics Club of Mid-Eastern University. Now, wait a second. So maybe it's not Xinyu. Clown Claws, Slug for Appearance. Text only site. Used mostly to announce schedule to its members. Meet every Tuesday, Thursday. Okay, now we go to the periodicals, and we go to the Herald, and we go to Team Talon Claw. I think we're cooking. Grew up in China as Min Lang. Came to the U.S. and University. Linguistics, collecting accents. Lang Min. I think that's her. So it's actually Lang. Min Lang. There we go. Not CEO, like just a college student. Still does not tell me, because it is the older sister, but we don't know how to track her. On the plus side, that is probably 1 right there. That's 2. That's 3, theoretically. So if we get a 4th picture, or just an unknown... Well, the problem here is, like, no, I don't know if that's her last name, which is also a problem. I do think we've tracked this down. The problem is figuring out the person before that, but... Our niece who grew up there was the opposite. She couldn't wait to get here. Lucy Lang in high school. Cassidy. Should we just look up Robert Redford? Yeah, that's a good idea. Robert Redford, who played the Sundance Kid, is famously red-headed. Well, now why would you ever talk about that, huh? think that just about tackles it. Oh, you know what? No, it's probably... Xingyu is probably the, yeah, it was worth a try. That was probably more like her, but, yeah, it's gotta be that. There we go. Forgot to put it backwards. Power about the recent rise of women entrepreneurs, like her brothers, took over as CEO. Her royal nephew to take over. Board stance on a twist. Her IVF help her sister have a child. Yeah. Yeah. Boom. This is definitely... Alright, we've tackled something. Lock it in. Oh, yeah. Oh, baby. We're doing good. Okay. So that tells me a lot about that. This is definitely her as well. There's no reason it wouldn't be. Though how we tackle anything here, I have no idea. But we're on track. I mean, I've got a cat on my arm, which is... Actually, it's quite warm. I was gonna say TV anchor, like a news anchor. Yo, wait. Hear me out. Is he naming his 5 pieces after his 5 affairs that he's had? You know how they all have the first letter of the name, right? SXBC. There's a C, there's an X. There's an S. No, because then it's... What's Joanna? There's something there. There's something stupid there. There's no reason for it to just continually bring that up. Maybe just not including that, but I don't know. Anyways, I think we're good on that. What we need to tackle now is Brazil. Come on. Portuguese writing. We already looked up. Maybe we just look up this instead. The municipality. No. Incendio de Bordeaux. Unsuccessful strike. Yeah. What was this again? Maple Fire? Maybe I just type in Maple Fire. Oh. What? That was useless. The others in the small town is backlash to perceived corruption in the government at that time. Manchester was found to be receiving a cut of the factory's profits. Yeah. I agree. Manager at a automotive manufacturing plant for a major American car company. Wife Sonia, television station called Telerede. Didn't think so. Politician. College student as part of their PhD in history. That makes me... The college student in part of the PhD makes me want to look at Edson from the Herald? No, okay. You know, sue me. Hello. There's something here. I just don't know what we're looking at. If I type it in as a Z, will that change anything? Let's look up 5 pieces. Element update. Fuck me. What was the flavor development called? Because he did caviar and then butterscotch and caviar. They're always doing the butterscotch caviar. Oh, there's sugar plum. See, that's the 5th one. But if that's the case, BCSS. That doesn't fit that, but we know it's correct. This top secret thing might pop out. Yeah. Something to think about in the future. We'll ignore it for now. Sonia something. Flaviosaurus, who has a mother named Sonia. Young Brazilian newscaster with a bit of a cult following. Discourse surrounding him is, to put in polite terms, lewd. There is a website about something called fan fiction that is a small section dedicated to him. Currently dating a supermodel named Ashley York. Many stories ignore her existence or get her out of the picture rather quickly. Traditional fan sites. Sonia. Flavio translates to golden haired. Okay. More convinced now. Anchor. Pop that in. That's just the first, right? Yeah. Ashley York. Cover of some magazines makes me think we do that. Rio on the play phones. Transmiss. Oh, there we go. There we go. Massive media group run by a mysterious woman named Sonia Alves. Nia is the one. Is that what she's going for now? Nia Alves. Forget what's the logic. Surnames from birth. Okay, whatever. We'll either use Nia or Sonia. Anyways, she's not a news anchor, she's a media mogul. Safety, manufacturing businesses. Television until 88 when Brazil began its period of reform. Using investment connections. Sends a proxy. Yeah, that's definitely her. Definitely her. I think we've got 2 sorted now. We either need to figure out what the hell happened. You better give me something here, because I am whatever's going on over there, I've got nothing. Not a thing. This feels like it should be easy, but it isn't, and that's frustrating. If I had to guess, the relationship with the lawyer The lawyer's somewhere in there. We've almost covered all of Guy Hudson's affairs. But, you know, good for us. Susan Ford. Maybe we look at American Sign Language. Nope. What if I type in American Sign Language? Nope. Responsible for the Hudson Way. Right. Expansion in 82. Time of the donation came in assistance of an employee, which was her. Learned ASL from the main school to surprise her future husband, who was deaf. Afternoon classes on some weekdays. Yeah. Looked at this. Crime article from 1982. One arrest. Former student. Married the student's newest teacher. Word. He was not the father of Mrs. Hughes's current pregnancy. All avoided further appearances in the Times. What about there? This one's tough because, like, where the hell would we find anything? We like looked up Susan Ford, we looked up Susan Hughes. Okay, it didn't type, it's fine. Looked up Thomas Hughes. Nothing. It's just these three. Oh boy. Braille. Can't find anything for Braille? Already did this. Brazil, yeah. Secretary Elizabeth. Never met her. Yeah. It's fine. Company records now just 80 and 81. And that's it, huh? Susan Ford was moved to office staff. Is that just because of the dove donation? Greendorf dove donation. Interpreter. I mean, look, sometimes you just need a Hail Mary. And this also might be attached to the other ones, to be honest. Not that complicated. Fancy flavors. Oh, this is just excuse. We could look at Guy Hudson here. Hasn't been updated for 8 months. Oh, and plus this could easily just count for the Brazil one. Unless it's Susie something. Like, what if the way this is spelled is different? Totally could be. Nope. Alright. The cruelty, the family man. Notable events. I don't know. Roottree was difficult to place. Maybe we look at Brian Jones here. Jones graphic and print. Unchanged. Okay. Okay, it's making fun of me. Great. Rude. You know what? Maybe the ones that say aren't helpful anymore. Okay, that one wasn't. Television interview. List all your answers, missing the questions. Lauren's other books. Dream Wars. Show older. Show me. Alright. It was like X marks the spot. Z could mark the spot, but that seems unlikely. Maybe she sees a... Okay. We still don't have... That just, like, never happened again, huh? Older one is what? The, like, romance in court? That's okay. Did get new evidence. Kind of feels like this is the last evidence we're going to get. That seems unlikely, considering how many photos we need. Alright. Thanks for having... Okay, there's nothing actually here. There's... Popular... Female attention... Guy on a private jet to Europe. Using a client. I found one better understanding of who I was. Saver. Solid dead. Teenager. Judge anyone for anything. Okay, that ended up not being helpful, unfortunately. Yeah. Damn. Because these two are right. And it's either we can figure out what's going on with Susan Ford right now, or we can figure out, like, Mark Clementine, which is That seems more accurate. So who he is right now. One of the two would kind of unlock. Didn't it say what? No, she went to San Diego, so like that wouldn't help, would it? Would Piketty talk about Yep. Once arrested for throwing a Molotov cocktail. Toasterito Jacobson. Mary Clementine. Might not be useful. Disagree. Actually, that's probably the younger child, because they were graduating. I don't know. Toasterito Jacobson. I definitely didn't spell that right. Toasterito Jacobson. I mean, that was pretty close. Change the name Toasterito. Toasterito Jacobson used to be named Lucinda. What does this have to do with anything? Lucinda Jacobson. They probably actually go by web. Maybe we look up Carla Sims. Carlita. It says it's not. It's fine. Okay. So, Mary Clementine or Mary Webb. Web on the web, personal travel dialer. It doubles as advertisement for a travel agency. Description of Mary's services. Niche audiences. Ghost ships. Ooh. ship import day. Blah 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 blah. Tour it. Come up with their own paranormal theories. Corporate composition photography. Corporate composition photography. Sites no longer exists. Val, former head photographer, Q&A. Val was on the cover of Telephoto, asked about Iraq. Does not wish to answer any questions about his photojournalism days or about LBP. Lower back pain. They're just messing with me on this one. They're mean. Okay. Head photographer, Q&A with their users. On the cover of Telephoto. Val, LVP. No, really? Nope. 1 second. Let me look up Telephoto. Okay. Not helpful, but great. Nope. Nope. Val. What's a name that starts with VAL? 1 second. It just says Val. Q&A. Most users, emotions. I was on the cover of Telephoto and asked about Iraq. I think Val's gotta be the older of the two. No. So, lower back pain, legs faint, over pressure. I don't know. This could be any number of things. Or maybe I start by looking at just this. Fog. Jigsaw pieces. That sounds like a great game. photographer. Business in Beacon, New York. On the site says Cam Lincoln reaching for his namesake. Copyright. Guess he takes after his father. Takes after his father. Val. Okay. So I think this is Mary Clementine then. And that's her. She's an agent. Travel agent. This is Val. No, whatever this has got to be Val, like Lincoln. And this is Cam Lincoln. But what about Iraq? Occupation, baby. Technically, that should have locked in something, and it didn't. If we're correct. Unless Mary... Well... You go with the birth name, right? So I think that's right. Unless she's over here. Anyways. This should let us look up Val Lincoln. Featured in telephoto. There's an article been added to your evidence. Boom. Won the Seppi Award. I was starting high school when he took a photography class. Couldn't decide what else to do. Thought best career in the world to shoot for Playboy. Quickly found he had a knack for it. Landscape photography. Warzone for no pay. Blah, blah, blah. That was 19. Lisa Clementine. Lisa Clementine. That I don't know. So what? No. Unknown occupation. Actor. Construction, dancer, director, fire. Boop. Okay, wasn't that? Probably. Military. Which means both of these are wrong? There we go. Why am I hearing like rain? It's making me want to pee. Stop doing this. Locked. Optional entries. Yep, I was right on both counts.
Hey there, it's us. So I just have to say, the work you're doing here is fantastic.
Thanks. This is way harder than the original game.
Fantastic, in fact.
That you're gonna give me a lot of
There goes Clark. Always the bad cop.
extra help.
Go ahead.
Well, our law firm, Ruby Legal Enterprises, is having trouble keeping up. They're actually begging us to stop submitting new Roottrees. They said it's getting difficult to verify your progress.
Well, consider that a good thing. I told Clark you'd get results.
She says that like I didn't believe her. Regardless, the bad news is it's gonna take 5 potential tree additions before anyone locks in from now on. Good luck.
And keep up the good work.
Bro, no, there's nothing. You got nothing for me. Oh. Wait. What the hell is... Miss Clementine was in a vehicle at the time. Count me into your magazine. What's my engagement? Do I like look up Val Lincoln then? Okay. It's okay to be a realtor in Michigan. Lost an arm. Yeah. I mean, I get that, but like, what? Like, do you want to go by Lisa Webb? I don't know. Search for typos. I don't think so. Web doesn't show anything. I don't know. Something's screwy there as well. God. I think if we can unravel this nonsense, that would help a lot, but it's it ain't easy. Ain't easy. It's gotta do with the legal team too. 100%. And I could not tell you what the hell we need to do there at all. There's like the I feel like that's important. This right here. But I could not tell you why. What if I just type in asterisk? No. Okay. Oh, I've gone way past time again. How about that? Alright, something's weird there. And then it would be these two, and then we're... The problem is, this tree is a weird mess. There's also just that whole thing where they're like, not that Elizabeth, but I'm kind of like, are we sure? Are we positive about that? Sam's farm supervisor was named Elizabeth. Elizabeth had a daughter. Oh, but yo, Gwyneth has a lisp, right? So it's not Beth. It's something else. It's Bess, right? Yo, wait. Is the is the author? Wait a second. Is the is the propaganda author? This has gotta be it, right? It's totally it. We'll pursue this. Let's just do it tomorrow. Or maybe either way, we're streaming tomorrow for sure. I don't know if we'll tackle that or not. I think this is correct, and I think this pursuit will be hilarious. This is definitely it. 110%. This will unlock a lot. I don't know why this is the stubborn refusal here. It's pretty frustrating. But maybe if we knock out some of this, the clues will be a little more obvious. And this, I don't know. I'm gonna like turn it to housewife now and we'll go from there. Cam Lincoln reaching for his namesake. Like Camera? Yeah, probably. Anyways, there's something around here. And the asterisk on the hand is something. I just don't know. Don't know what exactly. Maybe it's just to tie it together, probably. That would make sense. Alright. We will see you again tomorrow for more. I don't know if we'll play this or we'll play Dragon Quest. Maybe a bit of both. But we will be back tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. If you'd like to leave a follow or just come back, hang out any other time you want, we will conclude this probably tomorrow. And then maybe just some grinding in Dragon Quest because we got absolutely wiped and waxed by that boss like for 2.5 hours. And we'll just talk and hang out. But first thing we need to do is figure out the rest of this tree. We'll focus on this next time. Because that's hilarious that that's definitely true. Alright. Until next time. Have a great one. Toodaloo.